with Andy, and then follow that with the embargo written. Thank you.
Andy, it's Michael Crocker here, Andy. Sorry if I jumped across there.
Okay.
Given the number of changes that you have, given the injuries you had at the start of the week, and the short space of time you've had together from a training point of view, how would you describe your last couple of days?
They've been great, actually. We've had a great week together. So obviously our last week at the competition, and we're in a determined mood to try and put a statement out there this weekend.
You feel that you've improved every week as this competition has gone on? Do you think that you need your best performance of this competition against England?
Yes and yes. I think we're up against a very good side who played extremely well last week. The standard of the game, the French and the English game, was top notch. I'm sure that they're hoping to put in a similar performance in. So for us, if that happens, we have to give an 80-minute performance. That's certainly the best of our competition so far.
Thank you.
Andy, just I suppose looking at the two changes in the back line first, Conor Murray in for Jameson Gibson Park and Jacob Stockdale in for James Lowe. Can you explain your thinking behind those?
Conor's another week behind him training-wise, so he's fresh and fit and raring to go. He's a big game player, and with James, obviously there's a few things that we've talked about over the series, really over the Six Nations. He's, like you were saying last week, he's very young as far as international experience is concerned. He's learned a lot in his time in this Six Nations, and we're looking forward to him progressing in the big games back at Leinster in the coming weeks.
How has CJ Stander been since making his announcement on Tuesday that this will be his final Ireland game?
He's been fantastic. He's been himself. He's in a great mood, and he is making sure that he's going to enjoy this week, and we're all going to be with him on that.
Andy, how you doing? When were you informed of CJ's decision to retire, and why did you just keep the players until Tuesday night or Wednesday?
Well, it was CJ's choice as well, obviously. We've known for a few weeks, Gavin. So he made his decision 6 or 7 weeks ago, and he's in a great mood. I'm absolutely made up for him, to be honest. He's very content with his decision. He's very happy, and when you put all that into context, we're happy for him as well, you know. He's in great spirits, and because he has known for some time, he's obviously known to himself that this will be his last competition, last Six Nations. So therefore, he's had a few games under his belt now, knowing that this was coming to the end.
What was your thinking around informing the players? Because it was quite surprising to hear Johnny and Pete express like genuine shock at being brought to them on the week of a Test match against England. So what was the thinking? Could you see it as a way of motivating them?
No, it is what it is. No, it is what it is. CJ deserves the right to speak to the players. He wants to tell them firsthand rather than secondhand. He doesn't want to leave an island camp and with the news that he already knows and not have the chance to address the group.
Thanks.
Andy, just wondering if that will bring an extra layer of emotion to proceedings on Saturday. Just obviously, high feelings with the shock of the announcement during the week, and then that this will be the last time to line up together.
Well, I suppose if we need any more emotion to go into an England game, which is the last game of a competition, we're in the wrong place anyway. But what we do want to do is enjoy the week for CJ, with CJ, and make sure that we put in a performance that he's happy to end his Ireland career on.
Jacob Stockdale. Sorry.
what does he offer? I mean, we all know how dangerous he is, you know, and he makes things happen, doesn't he? And yeah, he's been out injured. He's lost a bit of weight. He looks sharp. He looks really sharp. He's had a good few games behind him now, and he's ready to go. Obviously, he gives us that left foot option as well, as did James.
Hi Andy. Just might ask you about the attack again. I know it's a recurring theme, but on Against the Head the other night, Eddie O'Sullivan kind of picked out 5 or 6 examples of Ireland winning primary possession, and then from what it looked like, the point he was trying to make is they didn't play heads-up rugby. Are you seeing that live from where you are during the match and trying to get a message on? And what's the communication like for something like that to get it onto the pitch that there are better options on?
I mean, that is so basic, you know. Of course we're getting messages on, and of course if players aren't seeing the space of where the ball needs to go to, of course we're relaying that. But it's next job focus for the players, you know. So there's all sorts of stuff, isn't there? Where you know we touch on it every week. You know, why did we not? You know, why did we play to the space? What did it look like? What was the communication like? What was the depth like? What was the calmness like in our minds going from set piece to turnover ball, from defence to turnover, from breakdown to turnover ball, you know. So we talk about it all the time. So yeah, it's always going to continue that way.
And I guess like 13 matches into your tenure, is it extremely frustrating to see a topic that has been constantly coming up and seeing how it plays out? Are you expecting better from your players at this stage?
Am I expecting better? We want to improve every single week, and I suppose every single team would tell you straight up that the main thing about improvement within in everyone's game is the last thing that comes together within the jigsaw is always the attack, because it's the hardest piece. It's the hardest piece. It's the piece that fits into everything else, you know. So it will always be like that, and we'll always need to improve our attack throughout my reign.
Maybe just one more quick one. Johnny mentioned a couple of times that he was disappointed with the turnover ball, what was done with it. So you look very much as if you targeted the Scottish line out and it was working very well. What have you done this week that will ensure that off turnover ball there's more of a clear intent there?
We've addressed it, and again, you know, I think sometimes we just need to be a little bit calmer and clearer with our communication, and trust ourselves to move it to the space. That's basic rugby, and everyone's trying to do the same.
Thanks, Andy. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Hi, Andy. How you going? How's Will Connor's injury? How bad is that? And then what are you looking for from the back row you picked?
Yeah, he was unbelievably unfortunate. Will, he's had a great tournament. Really progressed. Again, he's young as far as international rugby is concerned, and he's certainly on an upward curve. And it was just something and nothing, Murray. It was at the end of training, doing some extras at the end of training. He came down in an awkward position on his knee. He's obviously being assessed, but he was ruled out straight away within a few hours by a medic. So he'll have some more checks in the coming days, I'm sure, and he's back home at Leinster.
What are you looking from the 3 guys you picked in the back row?
Well, I mean, you know, Josh has been unlucky not to start a few more games than what he has, because he's in great form himself, you know, and you know, when you tell a player that he's not playing, sometimes you get a reaction in training. You actually go, "Geez, I wish I had picked him," you know. And Josh has been brimming like that for a good few weeks now. So we're made up that there's like for like there coming in, and then CJ will 100% just be himself. You know, he's never any different. He's the most consistent player, constantly week in, week out, and. I think Jack, he had something different, doesn't he? A bit of dynamism at the back of the scrum. He's in great form as well, coming back from injury. So he'll be brimming to make a statement and to say that he's back on the international scene.
lastly, can I just quickly ask how Dave Kilcoyne got the nod ahead of Cian Healy there in Newstead?
Well, Dave Kilcoyne has been great. Obviously, he's not had that much game time, but he's been great in training. His set piece has been going really well. And we all know that a 6-day turnaround is a big thing at international rugby. You know, less time to prepare, less time to recover, etc. So there was always a little bit of thinking like that in the back of my mind.
Cheers.
Andy,